Have you been thinking of launching your own podcast, but not sure where to start? Well, we were in your same position when we started. That's when we found Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout makes podcasting easy. With Buzzsprout, you can launch a professional podcast in no time. In fact, Buzzsprout has already helped over 100,000 people get their podcast launched. With Buzzsprout, you'll get a great looking website, audio players to drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, and tools to promote your episodes, and much, much more. Plus, Buzzsprout publishes new blog posts, YouTube videos, and podcast episodes on a weekly basis to help you become a better podcaster. So if you're ready to start your own podcast, just click the link in the show notes and receive a $20 Amazon gift card for signing up. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and it also supports our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start your podcast. Thanks.
No, but listen, when you really think about it, it causes a lot of shame because, and especially from a woman's standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. So from a woman, we are always taught that we have this special gift or this special, this fragile thing that we are supposed to hold on to as long as we can. And the moment that we give it away, you know what I'm saying? We are no longer this or at least this is how we feel, right? We're no longer this thing that should
not be this pure, perfect thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Now we are tainted, you know, and it causes a lot of shame. You know what I'm saying? Because you made a decision that is very natural.
And here we go. Listening to the Kings Can Move On podcast with your hosts, Jason Stewart and Frank Rainey.
What up, everybody? You know what time it is. Welcome to the Kings Can Move On podcast. You got your co-host, Big Frank the Tank, a.k.a. Big Reno, a.k.a. my kid's daddy. What's happening?
A.k.a. Big Sage, man.
Big Sage, baby. Clean up this energy shit.
Anyway, it's your boy Lil J, aka Wood. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Kings Move On podcast.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us, please hit the subscribe button and like, and also follow us on your favorite platform: Apple, Google, Spotify, whatever it is. So, what's up, big dude?
Nothing much, man. Just living the dream here, dude. My baby girl, she just left for her soccer game, and I hate that I'm gonna miss that because she told me earlier today, she's like, Dad, you remember when y'all was playing recreational soccer, you would run up and down the field with me? I said, yeah, baby. And she said, you starting to do that again, Daddy. And I said, well, baby, I can't help it. I can't.
From what I remember, you said you need to look exercise, don't you?
Yeah, I can't sit down, man. I can't sit down when them girls, man, they bring me, honestly, a lot of the girls that she plays soccer and softball with, I've seen these girls for the last, Farron's been playing soccer since she was 5 and playing softball since she was 9. So it's hard for me to not root all of them on, especially my baby, but root all of them on and be up there cheering like I'm cheering at a fucking Chiefs game. Shit. If I'm going to cheer for the Chiefs on some strangers, I'm going to cheer for some kids that I've seen grow up.
Good old soccer dad. Well, speaking of girls and raising girls, we're gonna segue into our episode tonight. We have a guest tonight. You want to bring our guest in, Frank?
Yeah, man. Today we have one half of the Domandatrix podcast. We have Miss Angel on the line. How you doing today, Miss Angel?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing good. And you're looking as beautiful as ever.
Thank you. I try.
We've collaborated a few times, and no, this is the second time.
Yes, we had a good time on our show, and now I am coming on yours.
Yeah, we were on your podcast. It's probably a few months ago.
You coming on ours?
Oh, here we go. So
you said coming on. I'm just asking now, shit. Share what you got on what you doing below that picture right there now.
I know, right? Okay. Keep my hands below. No.
So for those that don't know, why don't you tell about your podcast, Angel? What it's about?
So our podcast is about sex and relationships, clearly. We talk about a little bit of everything, mostly to learn new things.
Yeah, because you can see you already got Big Frank riled up. He's
already yeah.
When is he ever not?
That's a good question.
That's true. That is so true. That is so true. I'm always turned on. Let my kids tell you I'm daddy always turned on, and that's the case for real.
Turned on, turned up, turned out, whatever the words would be. Turn something.
Yeah, turn something. Turn something. So how long have you guys been doing your podcast?
So we started in January, just this year. Mm-hmm. And we have 2 seasons so far. And we are trying to figure out if we are gonna go to the 3rd season. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where we're at now.
So how's it been? The first 2 seasons, how's it been? How's the journey been?
Well, the first season was great because I feel like we both were like in it, we were excited. We just kind of wanted to just get it out. And the 2nd season, I feel like we got a little bit better. It's like it was visual. So, because the 1st season was just audio only. 2nd season was video. And we had guests on the 2nd season, which we did not have on the 1st. Mm-hmm. So it was different. I felt like we taught some people some things. So people learned some things from our episodes in the 2nd season. So that was kind of like more of what we wanted to do. So hopefully we can continue that in the 3rd.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to y'all.
I hope so too, because I follow you. I check you out. It's, it's some good stuff. It is.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really do. And the same here,
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
Yes.
So the topic that I wanted to address.
Hold up, Jay. If you're liking this podcast, like and subscribe to the shit. Do your thing.
Said that already.
Okay. I ain't here.
Off the top. Off the
vodka is starting to kick in. It's been a long couple.
You ain't have but one cup, huh?
Oh,
you've been drinking.
No, I got one glass. It's been filled up about 4 times, but I got one glass.
Dude, we got a long night ahead of us, bro.
We sure the fuck do, so I better pace myself.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go, baby boy.
All right. What I was gonna say is the topic tonight is sex education, right? So because I was thinking, I heard one of your podcasts, and it was talking to this. I don't know if she's an expert or what was she?
She was a parental coach.
And she was talking about, children and sex and how you talk about it and how you, deal with it. So I just kind of thought about when I was younger, where I learned about sex, because I remember I had a sex education class. Did you have one, Frank?
Hell no! When did you do that? I learned from my uncle and my daddy's porn videos that we used to sneak around and find.
Sorry. That is a horrible way to learn about sex.
Yes. Oh, it was great.
Dude, I had health class our freshman year at LU. It was a night class I barely went to. But
dude, we went to it. I was in there. I don't remember us talking about sex. Because we was probably high or drunk.
Yeah. That was the closest you're going to get to sex education. Was health class, talk about fallopian tubes and all that, the body and anatomy and all that shit. But there was no class on how to,
actually perform.
Yeah, how to, deal with the act of having sex. There was just, and I think we've talked about this before. I didn't have anybody like a parent or older brother telling me about, okay, dog, this is what's gonna happen. This is how it's gonna go down.
Right.
Blah blah blah. So, Angel, Did you have any of that when you were growing up? The class or an elder tell you some stuff?
So, I learned, like you said, through health class what it was, and a little bit of what he said, because I have brothers, so they would leave videotapes in the VCR.
In the VCR, yes.
And I'm thinking I'm about to watch something, you know, like a kid's show, and I'm just pressing play, and it's got a whole nother lesson. So
right.
But, you know, I will say I wish someone had taught me, because unfortunately I was molested as a child and had no clue. Wow. So I do think it's very important for people to let their kids know, you know, what it is and stuff. So yeah, because health class wasn't until, I didn't have that until 7th grade was when I had.
So Angel, and I'll ask you this, and if you don't mind talking about it.
You know, okay. I'm an open book.
Okay. So when did that happen? How old were you? Because I have a 15-year-old daughter. How old were you when that happened? And what do you think you could have done to stop it or anything?
So unfortunately, like, I don't exactly know how old I was. I know I was like, I know I was in elementary school. To give you some kind of context, so it was my older brother who did it. So no, I don't think I could have stopped it. Yeah. But to give you some kind of context, I was young enough to want piggyback rides.
Yeah.
So that's how like young I was, because that's what happened. He gave me a piggyback ride and he started counting, and I had no clue, you know, why he was counting, but he counted up to 3 minutes and he told me that I had to go in his room for 3 minutes, and I'm thinking we about to like play the video game or something. I had no clue. And he gave me fellatio, which was very weird, but
I've heard that a lot. I mean, like family members, it comes from the biggest molestation instances. It's been a family member.
It's the people who are who is closest to you. So you hear a lot of people like, you know, watch out for strangers, but it's like the people who are like right next to you is who you really need to watch out for, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that happened one time or multiple times?
I stopped it after having, like, once I, you know, realized what was going on, honestly. So that was 7th grade was when I realized, you know, what was happening to me. And so I heard the fast girls in class say, like, you know, to get out of sex with their boyfriends, they would tell them that they started their period. I hadn't even started my period yet. I was I was in the 7th grade, so I was like 12, but I hadn't started it yet. And I told him that I did, and he never touched me after that.
Hey, just a quick reminder that if you're liking this podcast, please hit the subscribe and like buttons, and also rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. Thank you. Did you ever tell anybody in your family about it?
My family found out when I was like 24. I had moved to a whole nother city. I was living in a whole nother state. And they brought all of this drama back. Like, so no, I didn't tell anyone in my family, but my best friend who I'm on the podcast with, I talked to them about it, and then they told their mom, and so then I was able to talk to their mom about it, and
Okay.
Did he ever try to make amends on that?
You know,
or was it a situation where I didn't do all of that?
So when everything hit the fan, he tried to deny it at first, and then they were, you know, people were like, come on now, you know, like she, you know, Angel wouldn't lie about that. And so then he blamed it on me. He said that I came into his room and basically seduced him at like 7 or 8 or 6 or however old I was. So like everybody knew that was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
no kid should have.
I'm not your brother, but he got problems.
He does. And you know, I forgave him. It is, you know, I don't want to say what it is, but I I forgave him, because forgiveness is for yourself, not the other person.
Yeah.
And so, because, I can't live with that hate in my heart. And like, because I did. Like, when I realized it, because like for so long, I had no clue. Unfortunately, sex feels good. So.
Oh, man, good. Oh, yeah. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I don't know.
So, I had no clue that, what was happening was wrong because shit, it felt good. So it was just like, so then like you kind of deal with that shame of like, you felt like you were the one initiating it. And then that kind of eats you alive. And I went through this like horrible stage where like, I didn't care about what I looked like, like it was almost like I kind of went through a breakup. It felt like it was like really, it was a weird time because it's like what happened was wrong, but now you were so used to that attention, and then now all of a sudden it just stopped. So it was hard. I had to it was
so okay, so going through as a child, of course it's going to have a scarring traumatic effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you're an adult and you're in relationships with men, and you're dating, having sex. So how has it affected you, in your life now as far as what you went through?
Of course, trust is something that I struggle with. And really like it's a little bit in me. I feel like, it's hard to know people's intentions. And so, and I feel like I go through the same thing where it's like, I don't know if this person really cares about me or they just want sex, So I kind of go through that a lot. It's like, cause I feel like that's what I've been used for, since I was a little girl. So when I feel that, it takes me back to that little girl. And so I immediately get the hell up out of there.
How do you combat it? How do you have you ever been in a relationship with someone that you feel like they truly did care for you and you shunned them away because of the way you were feeling?
No, I feel like if I was ever in a situation where I did, yes, I did feel like the person was like with me. It wasn't, we broke up for different reasons, or we couldn't work out for different reasons. But no, I knew it wasn't just sex. So I have felt that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of shit's like, for me and Frank, it's on our mind a lot because we have daughters, right? So we're always thinking about, our daughters, something happening to them, being taken advantage of, and it's just a constant worry,
My dad to this day does not know.
Really? Wow.
So your family has kept it away from him?
Yeah, or at least I have. No, he doesn't really talk to anybody else in my family but me. Wow. So yeah.
So your mom and dad aren't together? They
I don't think they ever were.
It was just a bang, 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 bang. I understand.
Yeah. So my mama was she had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
hey, I understand. It
was
nothing wrong with
them streets.
Yeah.
So you and your dad close?
We are closer than we were before. Okay. But no, unfortunately, drugs played a factor in why he was not in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. But he turned his life around. He's not completely. He's still smoking a little weed, but
weed ain't a drug. Weed is a herb.
Exactly. So yeah, but that's about it. Because his drug of choice was heroin. So.
Oh. Okay.
He was one of them 70s and 80s daddies, then, huh? He was one of them 70s and 80s cats, huh?
Well, he was born in the 50s, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an old cat. I'm like, Daddy, you old.
Yeah, he old school, but that's like my folks the same age. Yeah, but yeah, that's the drug of choice, I guess.
Yeah, back then, back in the 70s, that's 70s and 80s. That's what they.
Yeah. He said it was sex, love, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, love, and rock and roll.
Right.
Actually,
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if it would help anything by him knowing. So
was it his son as well, or was it?
No. I am my dad's only child.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. He didn't even want me, is what he told me.
Oh, damn.
I understand.
Damn, Dad.
It's like I tell all three of my kids, like, y'all were some oopsies. For real. Yeah. For real talk.
Definitely.
Y'all were oopsies, but y'all were the best oopsies that I've ever had in my life.
Exactly. That's exactly what he said. But I told him, because I want a sister. I have all brothers. I'm like, Dad, I want a sister. You need to go, your stuff still work. You can go make me a sister. He like, baby, I ain't even want you. I'm like, well, I can't tell shit. You hooked up with my mama. She had already had 4 kids. You did want me.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna shoot up this box. I'm shooting this box.
You shot at the wrong club. How you gonna pick the most fertile bitch in the city?
Like, I know she gonna have my seed. I know this motherfucker right here pretty. Oh yeah. If she had my seed, I got something going on right there.
Exactly. Right there. I'm like, dude, you did want kids, clearly.
You the youngest?
No, I have a younger brother.
Okay.
Just one younger brother. All the rest of them are older.
All brothers.
Yes.
Wow.
All brothers. I hated it growing up, but
you probably was a tough motherfucker though.
I am. I fought almost every last one of them except my oldest.
Yeah, I imagine you tough. You tough something.
Yeah.
But so with that, what you went through, and then kind of segue into the topic you had on your podcast with the lady talking about sex and children. Kind of tell me about what she was talking about. A little summary of what she was talking about.
So basically what she was saying is, because we kind of went a little like, we kind of had a little bit of clickbait a little bit, but the caption was like, you can start as young as 2. And it's not like talking about sex, telling them, oh yeah, this is the birds and the bees or anything like that. But it's just basically giving them the, the okay for them to be able to explore their bodies, because like, how kids are, I feel like I have nieces and nephews. When you take that diaper off, especially little boys, like they get to playing with it, they want to see what's wrong. I swear little boys play with them. They play with it so much. But and so what she said is like a lot of parents will tell them like, no, or stop, don't do that, and instead of doing that, because that causes shame and it makes them like, feel a little ashamed of their bodies, and you shouldn't cause that. So she said, instead of telling them no, just tell them to like go in the room and do that privately, Right.
I'll say that when me and my daughter's mom were together, I can remember there was a time, and she was around 2. She was around that 2-year-old age. I was getting out of the shower, and she was coming into the bathroom, and we were like, our baby. But when I noticed that she stopped looking at daddy's eyes and was wondering what that dangling thing is, just, I was like, okay, I need to start taking my shower in another room, you know? And so exactly. I don't know.
I had a similar situation with mine. I was coming out the shower, and again, they want to see where daddy is. So
right, they're there.
She just come in the bathroom, and I get out, and I never forget. She was like, "Is that an elephant?"
Okay, Mr. Dickum, swing low, sweet cherry.
Between ears and the balls, all that kind of
right
imagery. And I was like, "Oh no, baby, no, it's not an elephant." I was like, "Go back in there." From that point on, that door was locked.
Yeah.
But that's good. That even that she even spoke about that. It's to where like you'll have people use other words instead of the anatomical name, so it's like, you'll hear your grandma say, your pocketbook or PP and like wee wee, and she's like, no, you should actually use the anatomical name. So call it a penis.
Did she say why?
Because if they hear that outside, so basically like what she was saying is if they hear that in any other realm, they're not gonna know like what that is. So like, if they hear PP something else, then they like, wait, I thought this was my PP, like, or like wee or something, like it's like it'll confuse them a little bit.
Okay.
And because that a lot of adults use anatomical names, right? We'll say penis or vagina. And then like the kids don't know what we're talking about. So she was just basically saying like you should always use like the real words so that they know. And then if they hear it outside, then they know like, oh wait, they talking about some stuff that I either need to listen to or I don't need to listen to, And it's just about awareness. She was saying it's like kids I feel like adults don't give kids enough credit,
Yeah. That's facts.
Is as ignorant as we think they are, or as that
them little motherfuckers are smart. Yeah, them little motherfuckers are smart.
Exactly, and they pick up on a lot, especially between those ages of 1 and 5. They're like sponges, Yeah. So that's the best time to get as much information in them. Like I mean, again, going back to what I experienced. Had somebody talked to me about that, then I would have, I would have been like, hey, nobody's supposed to touch me down here, like,
yeah.
But nobody had that conversation with me. So I had, again, I had no clue what was going on with me until I'm in health class and they're like, you do this and this goes here. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like my brother not supposed to be doing that,
Right.
So it's just, it's about education. And it's like, of course we want to shield them from it, but especially with the day and age we have right now with the internet, and it's so hard to shield them from anything. Like you would want them to learn this stuff from you before they learn it from, like I said, remember like the fast girls told me that if you want to get out of sex, tell them you started your period, so it's like I shouldn't have known stuff like that. I didn't even know what sex was, so they learn stuff from their peers and from people outside of the home, when they should be learning that inside.
I think it's like it's just like and it's almost taboo, and parents sometimes are kind of fearful to talk about that stuff with their children. Like, how do I address it, or how do we have these conversations? Like, I'd rather not deal with it, and she'll learn somehow, or he'll learn, he'll figure it out.
It's like a fear. It's like a taboo with sex, and that's the unfortunately, the unfortunate thing is people look at sex as taboo. Really, it's one of those unspoken things that they're not supposed to talk about with their kids. And one thing that I tried to even do with my boys is I tried to make it just as like a normal situation, and actually with my daughter too, I tried to make it a normal conversation. Like if we're talking about the game, we can, just like we're talking about the game, we can talk about sex. It's okay. I may get upset, shit, just like I get upset about the game. I may get upset, but it's still a conversation that still needs to be had.
Yeah,
definitely.
It needs to be had. It did, because like you said, Angel, we learn from our peers. We learn, and today you learn from, it's everywhere, between music, television, movies, between social media. I mean, listen, you can't have an account on any of those, Snap, IG, TikTok, without seeing something about sex. It's everywhere. So you can't be like, hey, what you got on your phone? They're gonna see it. So it's like, it's somehow you gotta preempt that. Like, I know what you're gonna find on your phone, so let me tell you what you're gonna see. Let me tell you what's really going on, because what you're seeing is the imagery. It's gonna fuck up your head, because you're gonna think, okay, I gotta look a certain way, I gotta act a certain way. That's just okay. That's just expected. That's what everybody's doing. There's gonna be pressure. We had peer pressure, but it wasn't like this peer pressure.
It's the Christian society. It's the Christians that bring that peer pressure.
Oh, how the hell Christians got to do with the damn internet and the damn
honestly, I think religion has a lot to do with why people don't talk to their kids about sex.
Say it again, Angel. To the Christian right there. Say Christian Jason, hey, what you
hey, say? Look here. Today is Sunday now.
There's a lot of shame.
You ain't gonna be on my damn.
No, but listen, when you really think about it, it causes a lot of shame because, and especially from a woman's standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. So from a woman, we are always taught that we have this special gift or this special, this fragile thing that we are supposed to hold on to as long as we can. And the moment that we give it away, you know what I'm saying? We are are no longer this or at least this is how we feel, right? We're no longer this thing that should
not be this pure, perfect thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Now we are tainted, you know, and it causes a lot of shame. You know what I'm saying? Because you made a decision that is very natural to make.
So fucking natural. That's so crazy to me. You know, because that's where I differ with the Christian, the religion. Actually, that's just not Christians, but religion in particular, where they say you hold on to this pressure. Your shit is an Amazon box, and when that Amazon box get delivered on Monday, you know you can love what's in that damn box. And then, or you can say, I'm gonna return this damn box. That's what the fuck it is. Just like some dick. Dick is an Amazon box. Come on, man.
Time out. And listen, this ain't that podcast, but I will say this. I'm not a hypocrite. I know I am a Christian, and I'm not gonna denounce that or of it. But there are some things that, you know, I don't like. I'm like, but that was written so long ago, you know.
Exactly.
And it's like, are we still hold that same standard? Okay. But anyway, I'm real about it. I will tell people in Bible study, listen, I know what it said, and I'm sorry. I'm a mess up. I'm messing up right now. Matter of fact, because I ain't married and I'm not stopped having sex. So that's, you know, but
and it's good.
It's too late. Like you said, an Amazon box and return it. But I will say this: once that box is open, it's too late. It can't go back. You cannot go back. Once you get into sex, it's no I don't want no sex no more.
Yeah, you can't unsex it.
You can't be unless you had a real bad experience. Yes, you could be scarred. But if you had sex and enjoy it, from that point on, you're always seeking more sex.
And Angel, if you don't stop taking that damn shirt and pulling it off your damn shoulder.
Speaking of
Jesus Christ.
A
Lord
box.
Have mercy.
Amazon box.
Yeah.
Over there.
Y'all, if y'all are listening to this on Spotify or whatever,
you need to
y'all not watching this on YouTube.
You need to stop harassing our guests too, nigga.
Lord have mercy. The Lord is my shepherd. You know what I want. Okay, go ahead.
Every female guest we have.
But no, what I was about to say though is, so even what I went through, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't my choice, right, to necessarily engage in sex, but I had to go through that whole again, it wasn't my choice, it wasn't my fault, because now in religion's eyes, I am this tainted, because I don't, but it was never my choice, so it's I do think because we actually spoke on that on one of our podcasts, that we really think religion has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And why people feel so much shame with sex, or why is it so taboo? Because it's everybody does it, I mean, if nobody did it, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. So clearly, everybody does it, but I do think it is so beneficial. I don't think it hurts anything. Had I known about sex younger, I don't think it would have made me go out and go do it even more,
Hey, just a quick reminder that if you're liking this podcast, please hit the subscribe and like buttons, and also rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. Thank you.
I grew up with all the freedom in the world, right? So my mom grew up very strict, very structured. When she came home from school, she had to clean. That was it. From the time she got home to the time she went to sleep, it was clean as house. I don't want to hear nothing. Shut up, So when she would get out the house, she went wild. It's like, I got a little bit of time. I'm about to do everything I can do in this little bit of time, So, and that unfortunately caused her to have a first pregnancy at 14. She had my brother at 14. Right behind my brother, she had my other brother at 16. Right behind that, 19. So, and when she raised us, she didn't want that for us. So she gave us all the freedom in the world. Like, I mean, if I wanted guy company, all I had to do was ask. Mm-hmm. So it was not exciting to me because like I can do it. Whereas like my friends on the other end, their mom is really into religion, right? Go to church every Sunday. She's like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And they had that rebellion type of attitude where it's like, well, I want to see why I can't do it.
Right.
And they unfortunately had kids very young. So I think like a happy medium. I don't know if I don't know if I want to give my kids all the freedom that we had.
Right.
Because like, my friends had to be in the house by the time the school lights came on. I mean the street lights. That wasn't me. I could kick it until I wanted to, so right. I think I would implement a little bit of that, but I would teach. Like we didn't get any guidance, and I think that was the hard part.
I think the communication is key with everything, even between parents and children. Mm-hmm. I was listening, I saw something on Facebook, and it was this girl that was speaking to like a panel of parents, and they were like, they was going on and on. She's like, the problem is y'all don't listen to us. Y'all talk to us, but y'all don't really know. Y'all think y'all providing a house, food, and this, and we good. But you're not really worried about what's inside, what's going on internally, my feelings, my thoughts, because you don't ask. Uh-huh. So we got to get past the point of like, I'm parenting my way. I'm going to raise you. I'm going to put a house over your head, roof over your head, food in your belly, and clothes. Be quiet. You got to start inquiring, like, what are you thinking about? What are you feeling? What's going on with you? And
a lot of these parents will say, I'm not my child's friend. And me personally, I don't look at it like that. I want to be my kid's friend. I want to be that, keep my kid's friend, because when you're your child's friend, that's when your child will confide in you on what's going on in their lives. They're not afraid to come and talk to you. Like my daughter tells me, she has friends that are lesbians or gay or whatever you want to call them, and I tell her that's normal. I don't want you to think that you can't come to talk to me. If that's a route that you want to take in your life, don't think that you have to hide that, because that's a thing with a lot of gays and lesbians. They've had to hide that for so many years, man. Why should they have to hide it? Just like if my kids have sex, don't hide it from me. I may not want you to do it at that time. Yeah. But we still need to have a conversation about it, and we need to talk about it and say, hey, okay, here's what, if you're thinking about it, I don't want you to do it, but here's what you need to be prepared for.
Yeah, I think what happens is parents forget that they were once kids, right? And it's like, how old were you when you started having sex? So it's like, come on now, like you can't realistically believe that I'm gonna just wait until I'm 21. It's like
or married,
right? Mm-hmm. So and I don't know, my mother was completely different though, so I didn't feel like I could talk to her about it, like because and unfortunately I hate to say it, but it was because I knew that my mother didn't have the information that I needed. You know what I mean? Like I went one time, I know y'all are men, y'all probably don't know a lot, but I knew that something was wrong with my vagina, right?
Wait a minute, what the fuck you mean we don't know a lot?
Listen, it was I was going through it at this time. I knew something was wrong with her. Like she was not right. She was itching and like it was a lot going on. I went to my mother and I swear to God, y'all, she told me to put Neosporin on my vagina because that stops the itching. I was like maybe 11 or 12 and I knew that was absolutely absurd. I was not going to put Neosporin anywhere close to my vagina. So I went to my best friend's mom. She had a whole, she like, oh yeah, you got a yeast infection. Come on. Like, you know, like gave me everything I needed to have. And so that was unfortunately the issue I had with my parents, where I knew that they didn't have the information that I needed. So I had to go elsewhere to get it. Which is really unfortunate. So I would say parents need to first and foremost educate themselves because stuff changes and, you know, words change and slang and all of this, like, you know, what we used to say ain't what these kids saying now. They really much talking like, what is it, anagrams or like the little thing?
It's like in code, because it's like,
yes, like who's coming up with all of these codes and like, right. So yeah, I think parents need to educate themselves before they can even try to educate their kids.
No, and that's why I think it's also important that you stay abreast of what's going on social media. Even though I get tired of social media, I really do, but that's your kid's world. Their whole world is on social media. You can't be like, I'm too old for it. No.
You better figure it out.
You need to be on there too. I ain't saying you gotta stalk your child and, you know, go through their shit, but you need to be aware of what's going on in that platform because they're on it all the damn time.
All day. And a lot of parents are even letting that raise their kids.
Yeah. I mean, and I've known parents like, I don't do that stuff. That's for the kids. No, if your kid's on it, you know what's going on.
You need to know what's going on. Exactly.
What's going on? Yeah. You know, you pay attention. But outside of Frank harassing you, Angel,
all in love.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, I'm happy you guys had me.
Yeah, I wish your friend could have joined us, but you know.
I know. She had to work. We both working 2 jobs now, so she recently just picked up a second job. So it wasn't anything that she already had planned. She literally just started this job 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So it wasn't like she could be like, I need this day off or whatever. So
yeah, that's a real big thing. Let her know what she missed.
This was a good conversation.
Yeah, of course it was. You wish things can move on.
And he was not harassing me. You know, he was just, you know, just commenting on my
just admiring the scenery. That's why.
Exactly.
Look at him.
Beautiful view.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
With that note, you know what? We do have a couple new segments. One segment is called Hey Young World, and what it is if you can go back to your 20-year-old self and give them any kind of advice, what would it be?
Focus.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I was so because my childhood was chaotic, as y'all can imagine. It wasn't a lot of fun in my childhood. It was a lot like I had to figure out a lot of stuff by myself. I did a lot of stuff by myself. So I was trying to have fun in my 20s. Yeah. But now I'm making up for all of those years. So yeah, it would be to focus and take life a little bit more seriously.
Yeah,
just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yes. I wish I could go. 25 was my best year. Oh my God.
Oh man. It's great times. Great times.
I remember back. Yes, that's a wow for me.
Yeah, great time.
Yes.
Wood, what was the one? What was my segment? I don't even remember.
Damn it, man. You got your own segment?
Yeah, well, I was doing my closing. I was writing my closing.
Okay, well, go ahead with your closing, big dog.
All
What's
right.
your final words?
So my final words is this. So thinking back when I was a kid, and thinking about sex, when we were younger, there was a drive-in. Mac, there was a twin drive-in, and one side of the drive-in, it would show mom and dad would take me and my brother. One side, we would watch a Bruce Lee movie or whatever movie was out at that time. Yeah. On the left side was basically the porn. Oh. And we are kids looking at this, and I can remember my mom and daddy said, hey, put your eyes to the right, mister. But as a kid, we saw those things. We saw them fucking in the drive-in. And that made us curious. That made at least me curious on trying to see what my daddy had and seeing what my uncle had and finding their stuff. So I would say as far as that, instead of trying to hide what sex is, talk to your kids about sex. Because it's natural. It truly is a natural thing. It can be a beautiful thing, or it can be a horror story. We don't want our kids in life to go through any type of horror story. So one of the things that we need to do is, like, we're preparing them how to drive. We're preparing them how to go about in college, high school, college, whatever, or marriage and later on in life. Let's talk to them about sex, because it can be a good conversation. It can be a hard conversation. We want it to be a good conversation. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that it would have changed me being the person that I am, because I am motherfucking Scorpio, but I would have probably been more prepared for sex in high school than I was. So let's talk to our kids about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So Miss Angel from the Domandatrix podcast.
How can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram. So everything, well, pretty much all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Domandatrix, DOMANDATRIX.
Okay.
We'll put it in the show notes too, so that we'll have a plug for you. So
yeah.
Yes.
We appreciate
it. Was a pleasure. I appreciate you guys having me on.
We appreciate you coming on now. So
yes.
With that, Miss Angel, Big Frank,
Lil J.
Let's move on, y'all. We out.